So a couple of people have asked, they said, Doc, are you going off grid? When we bought this property, which was abandoned, we spent a year and a half remodeling. The whole time we were doing this, my purpose was not to go off grid. But as we built it, I said it would be nice to sort of disconnect from the county, the state, everyone else, city, whatever, and just be independent out here where we didn't have to, number one, have the bills, and number two, not have to rely. I have two entrances to this property. I have gates on both, a security cameras all around, lots of guns, of course, you know, old Marine, ex-jarhead. So the next thing you have to consider is you have to consider shelter and water. I've got 3 water sources. I've got the pond, shallow well, deep well. Shelter, the house is all set. What about food? Food is no problem. Obviously, we have gardens that produce thousands of pounds of produce. We have wildlife all over here. If we want to deer hunt, we can deer hunt. So the only thing that we have left, oh, and I have a Vermont Castings wood stove inside, and I just had a cord of firewood dropped off, and that'll last me 2 years, as efficient as that thing is. So the only last thing I'd have to consider is electricity. And you guys know I did a video about what are my plans on solar. We're going to change that plan, I think. We're having that new cabin dropped in over here on that gravel pad, and since the roof is south facing, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the solar on that, and I only have to trench it about 90 feet over to the house. And I think that would be the way to go. So I've sort of pushed a hold on that. But that cabin, studio, whatever you want to call it, it's a big 16 by 30, custom built, and they'll deliver it whole. That'll be here in about 3 weeks, I'm guessing. So hit subscribe and I'll show you that, and then we'll actually go in there, and Austin's going to come over and he's going to actually help me finish the inside of that. And we're going to use some of those old timbers from that 1797 tobacco barn inside. It's going to be really cool, I hope. We'll see. So today, what am I doing on this video? I've got 2 days of just me out here by myself. No one is out here helping me. I'm running around. I looked at I've got a new Apple Watch, and I'm gonna do a video on this this week coming up. But I actually looked at my steps. That's one thing you don't want to do. I think I had 13,000 steps, and I walked 6 miles the other day. I was like, dude, man, crazy. So I'm just gonna piece stuff together out here and show you some. I've actually made a couple of mistakes out here on my irrigation system, but there's nothing else on TV, so I figured I'd shoot the camera while I'm out here. Morning. 0 Farm 30, and I'm on my way to Lowe's. I gotta fix up one of my irrigation systems. Man, those cows are loud this morning. I love Tractor Supply, man. Got just about everything. Oh, that just breaks my heart. One of my moms got killed. That just breaks my heart, man. People need to slow the hell down around this corner. I gotta put up my signs. I've got some deer crossing signs. I need to put them up. Spend all this time and all this money taking care of our girls. People go 65 miles an hour around that corner and end up killing them because they won't slow down. Stupid asses. All right, so headed out. I don't know if it'll do any good. These idiots just keep going fast around the corner. They know there's deer around here. Well, what are you doing, Doc? Well, I'm looking through all my parts. I'm trying to see if I can make a junction for my garden hoses off this pond water, because I really don't want to use my wells as dry as it is out here. I'd rather use the pond water when the pumps are running. So I'm trying to make a junction. Here's what I've come up with. So I just need to find a piece of 2-inch PVC, glue that up. And so I've got a female here, I got a male here, and I've got 2 3/4-inch hose nozzles there. The only problem is I'm searching and searching for a piece of 2-inch PVC, and I forgot to buy just a piece of 2-inch PVC straight pipe. But last year, I just remembered, last year we ran some 2-inch pipe under the road here. Yes. So up here, I've got a piece of 2-inch. What the hell is that? PVC, and then I just need a piece. I'd rather get that on my UTV. Oh, and before I forget, my firewood guy came by. And, I mean, I can have all the firewood I want, but this guy brings some really nice dry season. I gotta have 16-inch for my wood stove. Man, look at that. Is that beautiful or what? That is gorgeous. It's all oak. It's all hardwood. Nice and dry in season. It's all 16 inches. Alright, so that's all connected. I'm going to connect the hose up to that. I've already got a 3/4 inch hose running up to my small sprinkler. What I want to do now is I want to change my tip. I want to put a little more back pressure on this so that I get more pressure up to that one. And I think I've got a 10 in that, and or 9, and I've got an 8 tip here. That's a 9. That's an 8. I'm gonna try an 8. I want to see what happens. All right, so here's the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is I've got 75 feet of hose for my orchard, which connects into two 75 foot, so that's what, 150 feet over to that sprinkler. So when I start my pump, I want to be able to run the big sprinkler, the small sprinkler, and my garden hose, all three at the same time. Not that I'll consistently run this one, but at least be able to water and then shut it off and let those two run. That's perfect. That 8 versus the 9 is perfect. And it's giving a little more pressure to that one up front. Oh no, I just blew a hose. Oh crap. So what was my big mistake? My big mistake was that Lowe's was really short on plumbing supplies. And so when it came, I needed a PVC slip to female thread. And the only thing they had was black ABS. And without thinking, I glued ABS to PVC with regular PVC cement, and that just doesn't work. So another 45 minutes went by, and I ran down to the local Ace Hardware, and they had a piece. They had the female slip to female thread. I put it on, it blew off because I still had glue in there that wasn't making contact. So I left it in there overnight. Now I've tried, and I cannot get that off with a wrench. So I'm assuming it just needed a good 24 hours to fully dry. So hopefully this will work. But this will allow me to run this inline connection system. This Redneck Engineering will let me run both my big irrigation sprinklers and up to 2 garden hoses at the same time. That pump really kicks butt. So I just don't want to have to use my wells so much. We're starting to get pretty serious now. We're coming up on 7 weeks with only about 2/10 of an inch of rain. So I just need to be careful with my wells. This field is looking amazing. You don't understand how dry this was. It was so bad and browning out. And now look at it. That's 4 days of irrigation, running that pump for about an hour at a time. And it is just lush, getting lush again. Man, I'm so happy. Now I did plant chicory in here and a little bit of turnip, but man, how nice is that? Wow. And see, the deer come in here and they eat this green, and they actually get a lot of moisture in this drought. They get a lot of moisture as they're getting protein and their greens and everything else. So that's why this is so important. Okay, since that morning was a total failure, basically, spent the past 45 minutes putting this together. This is the feeders that we use, and then we hook them up to solar with a lithium battery, and we never have to do anything but put feed in them. So that's a brand new one, and I'm going to put it up here in the fields. Sometimes you just feel like your morning was wasted. Man, that was a lot of work for nothing. Anyways, all the garden and orchard is watered, but I had to water off the deep well. And now I've got the other two big sprinklers running up here on these fields. Again, I dropped that tip down one size, put a little more back pressure, and the air out of there. But she's covering this. She covers this whole field just about, that big one. And then this little one up here, that's a 1200K, 1250K. This is a 1000F. And it is covering a good portion of this field all in here. Once the air gets out of it. Howdy. So it's actually the next day, and this morning I was up at 5 a.m. and I loaded up. I went to the garden. I got a whole bunch of vegetables, because the wife is taking the girls down to the beach house for a couple of weeks. I got to stay here and work. So they're going down to the beach house. My brother and sister-in-law are going to meet her down there. But I wanted to send down some vegetables. We got some real good friends that are neighbors down there, so I always try and send down a big cooler full of vegetables. I got to come out here. I got to use the lawn sweeper to pick up leaves. It's the fall. So I'm going to pick up the leaves, and I'll probably cut this with the new McLean reel mower. If you haven't seen those videos, watch that. And what else I got? Then I got to cut the front. So then I got to come out here, and I probably need to cut this again. I'm putting a green shocker down on this now, which is an all fast release. If you have a cool season lawn, I did a video on that. I'm using green shocker on this, and this is a transition. So this is common Bermuda, and I overseeded with a contractor mix, which is Rise and Fescues, and now it's just boom coming up. But it's a weird feeling to get out of this short grass feeling and go to this long grass. So this is just getting really, really thick. I got to watch out for armyworms. Watch those videos. I just did some videos on armyworms. There's a ton of moths in here, which means that armyworms are coming. So once this dries out a little bit, the sun's been hitting on it, I'll come out probably with the Ego. By the way, I'm looking for an American-made push mower. Now I use McLean's because they're the only gas-powered consumer reel mower that is 100% manufactured in the United States with 99% US made components. There's no other one like it. Got it? I'm also trying to find a gas push mower. So if you guys know of a gas push mower that's made in the USA, not assembled, not imported and assembled, actual USA made gas powered rotary mower, let me know. Drop in the comments. I'll probably actually do a video. I'm so busy running 7 days a week out here. I just haven't had time to do a whole bunch of research. But if you know of one, drop the name down in comments below. And that's it. I got to get working. I'll talk to you later. Doc.